Most of people's houses who are starting off in Minecraft look like that. As you can see, it's just one box of wood with just a spruce door and nothing else. And if you do build like this with just one little box, well, in this video, I'm going to show you some steps on how to improve a house, and it is super simple. So anyways, let's get to it. So as we see is the first house, and the first way you can improve it is adding in a frame. So let me just demonstrate this. If you grab some logs and you can put on a border around the house on all sides, so you're surrounding your house in another box, and that gives it one layer of depth. Depth is, as you know, the layers. Each block represents one layer. So this oak wood plank represents one layer, and then this oak log represents 2 layers of depth. And when you do that, your house should look like this. Then, when you make your house, it should look like this by now. But the problem is that it is very, very flat. And you can improve your roof like this. If you add in staircases going over the frame, it looks a lot better and increases depth this way. So, this is an overhang, putting staircases hanging over your frame. And then, of course, you do it on the other side too. So you go up. I'm just demonstrating one side. You're gonna have to do this on the other side. And then you place upside down staircases on under these staircases. So that's how you do the overhang for your roofs. And now your house should look a lot like this. Your house is now very nice with the roof. It has a frame. I also added in framing inside here, in between the staircases and of course the main frame. But the biggest thing it is missing is the shape. So all houses, even though it is a box, it's not going to look good without shape. So should always add in some shape. So as you can see, this house is like exactly the same as those houses. But this house right here has an extended bit with an extra roof overhanging over this frame that's flat. And then there's also some glass panes also on that side. And yeah, that's basically the main things about building, is with starting with the framing, then with the overhangs, and then with some shape to your build. But you can get a lot more creative with your areas. So as you can see, if I can add in some vegetation using some flowers, it adds in a lot more shape to the build. And also another way you can do it is if I grab myself like a certain type of shovel, then you can see that I'm adding in a little path. And that is probably one of the mainest things about your house. Always be creative with your house or whatever you're making. So, and also, one of the main things in here is to have a good block choices. So as you can see, I went for very good block choices using cobblestone, spruce planks for a base layer. Base layers, I put in a base layer for this house, and also some cobblestone to make for the roofs. But what blocks you shouldn't use are these blocks: emerald, diamonds, and gold. Make sure that your house has a very good shape to it, because if you start building out of gold, it doesn't mix too well, and you should always stick with the theme. I chose a very dark and similar colors for this build, and it looks pretty good. While this house has very bright colors with different shades like green, yellow, and blue. That's one of the most important things to have. And also another thing that you can do to add in a little more detail into it is if you grab some grass and then you place this down right here and you add in some trapdoors, it looks like a plant, and that adds in a lot of detail. You need to add in a lot of detail to your builds. So yeah, that is basically all of the details, but I want to show you what it would look like if you really do build a house like this, not on like a miniature scale like all this, but I'll make it on a pretty bigger scale. And also this time I'm not going to use any of these wood. I want to try and show you how the palette or the color you should always do. It's really important. So yeah, I'll build two big houses, one with a not so good palette and one with a pretty good color choice. So yeah, here are the houses. Okay, now here are the new houses. So this one is supposed to be the good house with all of the nice blocks and a good color mixture. And this one, well, I don't even know what to say about it. It's absolutely horrible. But first, let's get over this one. Now the blocks I used was the soul lanterns for lighting, because the blue adds in a bit of brightness to the house. I used great concrete for the roof because it's a lot darker than the other blocks. And I used quartz brick. This is a brand new block. I used it as the walls. The pillar quartz I used at the framing. And then on each side I used spruce fences because, I don't know, I thought it would fit in with the like modern stuff. I guess kind of a bit of wood. And yeah, it looks pretty good. And I also added in a few windows. And then there's also this one. Now this one I chose a lot of different blocks to use, and it's not that great, is it? So I chose the honeycomb block of netherite, diamond blocks, gold blocks, emerald blocks, lapis blocks, and the shroom light as the roof. And it does not look as good as that house or any of those houses, but it at least looks better than that first one. But because it has a framing and roof overhang, but no upside down staircases. There's a lot going on with this house, and it just does not fit at all because all the blocks are in different spots. Like the block of netherite alternates with the gold and the diamond netherite. And yeah, it's not the best looking house in my opinion. I would not say it's good at all. But yeah, I was going to add in a few more things to this house, of course, but I didn't have the time to, so I guess I could add those in now. And what I wanted to add in was a pond. And when people build ponds, let me just explain this for a bit. They like to build them like this, very box-like. Your ponds have to be at least 2 deep, and it can have some 1 deep blocks, but it has to be a unique shape. It cannot just be the whole same shape because then it kind of ruins the pond of it, and it's not what you really want. And it does look really good now. I have shaders, of course, so it kind of looks all good. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it will look pretty good without shaders anyways. But another thing, if you're making a pond, that a lot of people forget is lily pads. And make sure your lily pads are very spread out. I have seen a lot of ponds where it's just like a lot of them are placed together. No, you want them very spread out. Like not too spread out, but maybe like 2 or 1 block, because it looks a lot better, and I think that's how lily pads should be, not just all over the place. It depends on what kind of pond you like. So yeah, that is basically on how to build, well, easy tips to build a house. It's not like building the best house, but it's okay for a house. It's at least better than this monstrosity that I've created, and that's gonna give me some nightmares of building. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe, like the video, and also hit that bell so you can't miss any other videos. And leave a like on this video if you actually like these building videos, because this is one of my first building video ever on my channel. So yeah, if you enjoy it, leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, this is Debreezebra, and goodbye.